The second and last day of the third Kenya National Dialogue and Reconciliation Conference in Nairobi narrowed down to next year's general election and the country's level of preparedness for the exercise. And the man who chaired the commission that probed the controversy-ridden 2007 general election had words of caution.
That if those elections fail, Kenya is indeed headed for very, very serious trouble. Those elections dare not fail.
The Kenyan people are politically much more aware today than perhaps 4 years ago, and I don't think it's going to be very easy to manipulate them and to get into the sort of situation they were in, and I hope the politicians take heed.
Kriegler observed that there still existed perceptions and fears of electoral malpractices that must be resolved.
There has been a threnody of irregularities, of electoral offences over the years that have become not only common, but have become accepted as the norm. Vote buying, dead men voting.
The election date draw found its way into the conference, with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission warning against a hurried process that could yield contested results. IEBC wants the polls held in December 2012 and not August next year as proposed.
You cannot demand for a first-class service and pay for economy rates. Let's agree that if you are going to have first-class good elections, then you must give the EMB the time to plan and do a good elections.
Kenyans will be expected to vote for at least 6 office bearers in next year's general election. They include the president and his or her running mate, governors and their running mate, senators, members of the National Assembly, women members of the National Assembly, and county assembly representatives. This, according to IEBC, poses a logistical challenge that calls for massive civic education.
And we went to the committee of experts and told them, please, although you have fixed the date of elections, we ask them for 2 things. We told them first, don't ask us to do elections, all of them, on the same day. These are too many ballots. Please cascade them, like Nigeria or other countries. They refused.
The tone and content of political campaigns ahead of next year's general election was also cited as falling among key determinants of how peaceful the general election will be.
If you have a situation where one candidate thinks he's super and the other person is a non-entity, then you have a problem. If the non-entity wins, then you have a problem, because the Superman is not going to accept defeat from the non-entity. So the personalities are very important.
Out in this country, opinion polling is a subject of serious underhand manipulation. And that, to me, is a cause for worry.
The 2-day conference was organized by the panel of eminent African personalities that brokered a ceasefire between ODM and PNU after the contested 2007 poll outcome. Stakeholders in the reform process are in agreement that next year's general election will offer a perfect opportunity for Kenyans to prove that they have learned the lessons of a contested electoral process, the more reason why it should be free and fair, and whose results will be accepted both by the victors and the losers. Francis Gachuri, Citizen Live at 9, Nairobi.